We're back again to you, dear viewers. So this morning we're pleased to welcome with us a distinguished guest to our program here of Good Morning Kuwait, Dr. Amna Shaghouli, MD, FRCPC consultant, endocrinologist. With her expertise in diagnosing and managing hormonal and metabolic disorders, Dr. Amna has played an important role in raising the awareness about conditions such as diabetes, thyroid diseases, and other endocrine-related health issues. Today she joins us to share her valuable insights, offer guidance on healthier lifestyles, and shed light on the latest advancements in the field of endocrinology. So good morning, Dr. Amna. We're very happy and glad to have you here with us in Good Morning Kuwait.
Thank you. Good morning to you and good morning to everybody to Kuwait as well.
Indeed. So, starting off, Dr. Amna, could you briefly, tell us about or introduce yourself and tell us more about your field of endocrinology and, metabolic and diabetes and all of this?
Right. So I'm a consultant endocrinologist. I really specialize in diabetes, in obesity, and hormonal health in general. And it's really sort of specific and very unique specialty, giving the modern lifestyle that we have in the meantime and all the diseases. And I think that, endocrinology, it's a science combined with the lifestyle medicine that's really excites me, because there's a lot of conditions these days actually that not only affect people's health, but also as well it's changed their quality of life. So if we know by simple changes and modern medicine, we can change a lot of people's life, and that's what really sort of endocrine system and what we do in our clinics.
Indeed, doctor. And if we were to speak about endocrinology, we want to know, what inspired you at first to, pursue this field.
Right. As I just mentioned, that endocrinology, it's a science that combined a life medicine as well, and there's a lot of condition that can affect your quality of life, and if you do it in the right way, and if you have the right care, you can prevent a lot of problems, giving diabetes, obesity, because that's sort of a common thing that, it's very high risk for all people around the world. And I think we can do changes that really affect people's quality of life.
Indeed, yes. You've mentioned, doctor, diabetes, and, nowadays diabetes is, I believe it is widely spread between a lot of people. And if we were to speak about, the signs that our body naturally gives us that we should never ignore, what can we say?
Right. So most diabetes, if we look at type 2 diabetes, will be discovered incidentally, and the prevalence about 1 in 4 in Kuwait we have diabetes. But we talk about long-standing diabetes that's undiagnosed, type 1 diabetes, you will have excessive thirst, you will have fatigue, you will have a weight loss, you will have foggy, blurry vision sometimes, excessive urination. So these symptoms occur when you have a high blood sugar for a long time. And in type 1 diabetes specifically, because they don't have insulin. So these are the most warning signs that should raise a red flag for us to check for diabetes if we have it or not.
Yes, of course. And, doctor, this actually brings me to my next question, which I believe, all of us at one point we did ask this question one day, which is, what makes diabetes, influenced by genetics or by lifestyle choices?
Right, that's a very excellent question. A lot of people, they say that if you are a Kuwaiti, we're going to end up with diabetes because that's with our genetics. I think genetics, both of them play a role, important role. Genetics will be sort of increase your risk of having a problem. However, the lifestyle itself, it's the key factor in these things to happen. Like the studies shows that type 2 diabetes, 80 to 90% of the type 2 diabetes are linked to modifiable risk factors like the lifestyle, the exercise, the diet, your sleep pattern. So these are modifiable risk factors. So if you control them, even if you have the genes, you're not going to end up having, for example, obesity and diabetes.
Yeah.
So if you want to put it in a nutshell, so genes, they load the guns, however, lifestyle will pull the trigger.
Okay, yes, yes. I do believe it makes sense now. And, you know, speaking about our everyday life, you know, lifestyle or daily habits, so what can we do actually in our daily habits to prevent having the type 2 diabetes?
Right. Again, this is a very deep question to me, and that's where endocrinology and lifestyle medicine sort of comes in together and basically help a lot of people. If you want to make it very short, basically you have to move. So exercise, if you want to do the foundation, the basic of being healthy, it's the exercise. You can walk 30 minutes per day, or you can do any type of exercises.
Yes.
You have to eat healthy. By eating healthy, that means less processed food. You eat more fibers, more vegetables, more lean protein, more fiber in your diet. Okay, so that's another thing. In addition is sleep. Sleep is very important. So there's a lot of studies correlated sleeps and shift work with obesity and type 2 diabetes. So if you don't have a good quality hours of sleep, you're prone as well to having obesity and diabetes. So if you follow these 3 instructions, eat well, walk or exercise, and sleep well, you have a lot of problems can be prevented by just applying these 3 rules.
Of course, yes. Actually, this is very true, and some beneficial tips that we can apply to our daily lifestyle. And you know, now, doctor, obesity has been widely spread, you know, in this generation. We've been hearing this concept a lot nowadays. And you know, what can we actually do to less, you know, have a drive to this rise of obesity?
I think it's the factors that we have. It's at the personal level as well as the community level. And we said the reason that we're living this obesity burden as well as type 2 diabetes burden as well as fatty liver disease burden because of the urban lifestyles. Urban lifestyles mean that you are moving less, you are eating more, you are sleeping less, as well as you have a poor sleep and eating junk food. So at the community level, I think we need to have more spaces for our children. We have to have more activities. We have to encourage them to move more. I think that really starts at the beginning, because we see as well obesity raises in terms of, you know, it's quite heavily as well in Kuwait and the Middle East in general. And at the personal level, we have to start with small changes. Nothing really change, you know, suddenly. If you just, you know, take small changes in your life, taking up the stairs, moving and walking while talking to your mobile phone, you know, parking your car when the weather is sort of better far away, and so you walk to your work. So these small changes that really can help. And it's really adds up at the end, and it's improve your health overall.
Of course, this is really important and crucial what you've mentioned here. It actually brings me to my next question, which is weight loss. A lot of people nowadays are struggling with weight loss, doctor, you know, trying to follow a plan, but ending up, not continuing or not for the long run. So what do you think is the reason for that? What is the reason, you know, for people who are, you know, struggling and not being able to lose weight?
Right, so weight is and obesity is a very complex disease, and it has a lot of input, and it's one of the most difficult diseases that we treat as an endocrinologist, because it has a lot of external inputs as well as your body input as well. So people who think that they can cut carbs, people they think they have, you know, have a quick fix diet, people do the starvation. People who think just by exercise they can lose weight, that doesn't work at the end of the day, because your body is so smart. Once you do these things, your body will act against you by reducing your metabolic rate. So your metabolism will slow down as you lose weight, and your hunger hormones will go up as well. So it's always your body will act against you, and you have to be very smart how to do this. as I mentioned that, it have to be a combination of, we know calorie deficit as well, the misconception that the willpower that I can do it myself, it doesn't work. There's hormones, there are metabolisms, there's a lot of things that influence obesity, so you cannot do it by yourself. We know calories now, restricting calories, not the only things that help you to lose weight, because there's other things that are going on, but that's one thing that we rely on, as well as with exercise, as well with follow-up and some medication that help people to lose weight. Because losing weight, it needs time, it needs patience, it's a long process, it's a chronic process, doesn't happen a day and night.
Of course. Actually, it's very important that you did put it here out there for our dear viewers to know that it is a process, it is a lifestyle. Be patient with yourself, and be easy on yourself and your body. So previously, Doctor, you mentioned how crucial sleep is. We want to know how important sleep is regarding this matter.
Right. So sleep is very important. If you have a poor sleep overall, you're going to increase your cortisol hormone, you're going to reduce your insulin sensitivity because your insulin shoots up, and all of that will make you gain weight, as well as not being able to lose weight. Having poor sleep, if you increase your cortisol, one of the hormones, the stress hormone, that again will make you gain weight around your belly button as well. So if you don't have a good quality sleeps, as well as like from 7 to 8 hours sleeps, you will be having issue with gaining weight and not being able, even though you're doing everything right. You're exercising, you are eating healthy diet, you don't have any other stress in your life, but having shift work, not sleeping well, really affect the metabolism and your hormones, as well how you lose weight. So it's very crucial. And there is a recent study, even not sleeping enough will affect your face, your facial structure as well. How do you look, your wrinkles? And we have to know that exercise by itself, it doesn't really make you gain muscle or do it. With the exercise, you're only injuring your muscles. What makes muscle recovery and build up is what you eat and how much you sleep. So you recover your muscles, and you build up muscles and build up the, the healthy body by good sleep and by good eating at the end of the day. Amazing.
So, we did highlight how important actually food and sleep is, in this matter. So we also want to know, like, how does, thyroid disorders, or diseases actually overlap with obesity or diabetes?
Right. So the thyroid is basically the main hormone that drives your metabolic, in your body, and how your body how fast or how slow your body will work. And the thyroid hormone produced by the thyroid gland, if they are underproduced, if we have something called hypothyroidism, which the thyroid gland doesn't work, that's when everything in your body will slows down. Your metabolism, you're going to end up having, feeling cold, depression, as well as, gaining weight and not feeling healthy. But that situation, actually, we don't see it with a very minimum raise of your thyroid hormone, what we call the TSH. A lot of people comes with a TSH of 5 or 6, and they think that all their obesity or weight gain is related to that thyroid hormone. It might contribute a little bit, but at the end of the day, it's not the big part. Unless your thyroid function really in the hundreds, which we see that occasionally with TSH, that may really slows down everything to the point even your heart going to be affected, will not going to be functioning very well. But thyroid, if it slows down, if it doesn't function, you'll gain weight. The opposite side, if your thyroid function become hyper, overactive, that's when you sometimes lose weight.
Indeed, yes. So from here, we would like to thank you, Dr. Amna, for being here with us in Good Morning Kuwait and sharing all of your valuable insights.
Thank you very much for having me today, and good morning to Kuwait.
Yes, so with that, dear viewers, all thanks and appreciation to our guest, Dr. Amna Shaghouli, MD, FRCPC consultant, endocrinologist. So we will be back for you, dear viewers, after this break.